It was a chilly evening in New York City, the kind of evening where every street sparkled with lights and the air carried excitement. I had just finished work when my phone buzzed, a message from Ryan, my boyfriend. "Can't wait to see you tonight. It's my birthday, and it's going to be unforgettable." I smiled. Ryan was turning 27, and he had invited me to a private rooftop party at his friend Matt's penthouse. I had no idea what was in store, but I knew it was going to be special. I quickly dressed in a shimmering red dress, curled my hair, and headed out with my heart pounding with excitement. When I reached the penthouse, the view took my breath away. The city lights glimmered like stars, and music flowed through the air like a heartbeat. Ryan greeted me with open arms, lifting me into a warm hug. "You look like the best gift I've received tonight," he whispered in my ear. Inside, there were about 7 of his friends, all guys, laughing, drinking, and waiting to kick off the celebration. I was the only girl, but strangely, I didn't feel out of place. They were welcoming, respectful, and full of fun energy. The party began with music, games, and drinks. The DJ turned up the beats, and soon, we were all dancing. One of his friends, Jake, pulled me into a fun dance-off, and soon the whole rooftop turned into a dance floor. I laughed until my sides hurt. Ryan watched me with pride in his eyes. He loved seeing me have fun. Later, Ryan took me aside to a quieter corner decorated with fairy lights and roses. "I wanted you here tonight, not just to celebrate my birthday," he said, holding my hands. "I wanted you here because you're the most important person in my life." He kissed me softly, and the world around us melted away. That moment, full of love, warmth, and deep connection, will stay with me forever. We talked for hours, stole quiet kisses, and made promises with our eyes. It was the kind of night I had only dreamed of. But just when I thought the night couldn't get more magical, something changed. Around midnight, as we all gathered to cut the cake, Ryan's friend Tyler received a mysterious call. His face turned pale. He quickly whispered something to Ryan, and suddenly the mood shifted. "We need to talk," Ryan said, pulling me aside. "What happened?" I asked, confused. He hesitated, then said, "There's something I've been hiding. Someone's here who shouldn't be." Before I could ask more, the lights flickered. A power cut? No, it felt intentional. Suddenly, the main door burst open, and a stranger walked in, a woman, dressed in black, with eyes that burned into mine. Silence fell over the rooftop. "Happy birthday, Ryan," she said coldly. "Surprised to see me?" I looked at Ryan, who was visibly shaken. He stepped forward. "You shouldn't be here, Melissa." Melissa? The name echoed in my mind. He had mentioned her once, an ex who had vanished mysteriously 2 years ago. "You told me she left you," I whispered. "She did, but I never told you why," he admitted, his voice trembling. Melissa walked toward us and handed me a small wrapped box. "Open it," she said. Inside was a photo of Ryan and her, smiling, in front of a house and a ring. Not just any ring. An engagement ring. "He proposed to me 2 weeks before I disappeared," she said. "And then he left me for you." I stood frozen. My heart raced. I looked at Ryan. "Is this true?" He looked at me with pain in his eyes. I was confused, hurt. I thought she left me. But she was taken. And now she wants revenge. Melissa laughed bitterly. "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. But you needed to know who he really is before you gave him your heart." She left just as suddenly as she came, vanishing into the night. I stood there, shattered, not knowing what to believe. Ryan tried to explain, but my trust had already cracked. I quietly left the party, tears in my eyes, memories of the night still dancing in my mind. The next morning, I woke up in my apartment, drained, replaying the night like a broken film reel. Ryan had tried to call, but I didn't answer. My heart was too heavy. The image of that woman, Melissa, and the ring she handed me kept haunting my thoughts. Was she telling the truth? Or was this just revenge? Later that day, I received a delivery at my door. A small envelope. Inside it was a USB drive and a note that read, "Before you trust him again, see this." My hands trembled as I plugged it into my laptop. A video opened, security footage. Ryan in an old cabin, arguing with Melissa. She was crying. "You can't leave me like this," she screamed. "I'm not ready to marry you," he shouted. Then something terrifying happened. The screen glitched, then showed Melissa falling, hitting her head on a wooden table. She went limp. Ryan panicked, picked her up, and carried her away. I gasped. My stomach turned. What was this? Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. It was Ryan. "Ryan, please meet me. I can explain everything. You don't understand what really happened. Please." Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet him at the same rooftop, now cold and empty in the daylight. He was already there, his face pale, haunted. "I never meant to hurt you," he started. "Start from the beginning," I demanded. "Tell me the truth." He looked down. "Melissa and I were together, yes. I proposed, but she wasn't the person I thought she was. She became obsessed, controlling. The night in the video, yes, we fought. But I didn't kill her. She hit her head when she pushed me away. I tried to get help, but by the time I returned to the cabin, she was gone." "Gone?" I asked. "You said she disappeared." "She did," he whispered. "No body. No signs. Just vanished. I thought she had faked it to punish me. I didn't know what to believe anymore." Then came the final twist. As we were talking, a man approached us on the rooftop. I recognized him. Jake, Ryan's friend from the party. But something about his expression was cold. "She told me you'd lie," Jake said. "What?" Ryan looked confused. "I've been helping Melissa all along," Jake confessed. "She was my sister." My heart stopped. Jake continued. "She came to me after that night, terrified. You left her alone. She had a concussion. She hid because she was afraid you'd come after her. Now she's back and she wants you to pay." Then, from behind, Melissa appeared again. But this time, her face was twisted with something darker, revenge. "I never wanted to hurt you," she said to me. "But you needed to know the kind of man you were falling in love with." "What do you want now?" I asked, stepping in front of Ryan instinctively. "I want justice," she said calmly. "And I'm not leaving until the world knows what he did." Round push bin 1 week later, Ryan was arrested for obstruction of justice and hiding key information about Melissa's fall. The footage, along with Melissa's testimony, was handed over to the authorities. But that wasn't the end. As I sat in my apartment, thinking everything had settled, I received another message. "There's still one more truth you haven't found. Come to the cabin."